Alright, so here we go. Our first one for 2025, I believe. We're at the thrift store. A couple different thrift stores, and actually found a couple things. You can tell the season's getting close. This is obviously a Ryobi curve shaft trimmer. It was $9.99, which to me was worth it because it came with a lot of someone's messed with it. So I'll kind of show you, like, it's got a new spark plug in it. Get it here where you guys can see it. So it has a new plug. That's kind of a bonus. Don't run, we can use that in something else. So we got a new spark plug. And one issue is, one of the first things I look at, I'll get that turn, is spark plugs I never worry about. Just, you know, if you need a new one, you need a new one. This one just happens to have a new one in it. So this looks like someone tried to get it running. Well, I'll tell you one issue they had. The camera's picking it up. I done a short on this, but it wasn't the best short in the world. I didn't realize I was so close to the trimmer, and kind of turned out crappy. But there's adhesive right here holding the, you know, the lines. You can kind of, if I can get my fingers out of the way here, you see where these two lines, if it's picking it up, are kind of sticking together there. It's like some kind of, I don't know what it is, some kind of adhesive. And I was thinking, what in the world were they doing? Well, come to find out, this line is loose in the tank, just moving up and down. So I don't know what that is, because it's not even cured. It's fuel. It's fuel. It will eat so much stuff, you guys wouldn't believe it. And so a lot of people, there's not too much stuff out there that you could, I think actually for this kind of stuff, I don't think there's anything out there at all you could actually use for it. But is what it is. So it looks like they tried to get it running. These fuel lines don't look at all. I mean, they're super flexible, but that one is like just crazy loose in the tank. And I was looking at it from the top down, from up here on the breather with the air filter cover. That carburetor almost looks new. But the other issue is where your throttle assembly is. When you let off of it, you pull it up, you know, like you're throttling up to trim grass, weeds, whatever. When you let go, it's not coming down. So it's either something with the carb back here, or if they had this apart, it could be something inside the handle. So I'm wanting to do, oh, it's got a new, I'll show you that real quick, brand new, never even used trimmer head on it. This thing got a spot of dirt on it, just spider webs from sitting around. So that's new. It's got the big plastic blades on it and all that. So they didn't even, doesn't even look like they even had it fired up. So I mean, it may run, may not run. I honestly don't know, but we are definitely going to find out. So I'll get this up here. And with these, it doesn't take much to get them apart. If I get this camera in a decent spot here. Come on, big fella. So on the back, right behind this cover, here's your choke lever. Right here on top. And behind this, I think there's only 2 screws. Yeah, there's one here and one here. So we'll get that off. And see what we got for a carburetor. I don't know what kind of adhesive they use, but I mean it's really tacky, but there's no way it's going to stand up against fuel. So it's kind of rubbery, like you'd use on maybe a bicycle inner tube, something like that. It's definitely not, doesn't feel like silicone. Okay, here's one. Let's get this other one. The primer don't look that old either. So it looks like they at least tried. Unless it was someone like me and they tried and ended up being junk. But it's me, I'll keep it and use it for parts. I've got this model. This is a Ryobi 31cc 700R. And I think I've had a couple of these. There's one more down there. that we've done videos on. I think I might still have them. Okay, so choke lever has to be all the way to the left. So that's like, that carburetor almost looks brand new. I'll get you guys in on it. I mean, that thing is focus. That thing is like super clean. Oh, definitely. I'd almost guarantee that they replaced that carburetor at some point, because it doesn't have a, up in here somewhere on it, it'll have like if it's a, what they call it, Wall Bros or whatever, it'll have a name on it. It has no name. And yeah, looks like it's Pac-Man style adjustment tool. That could be the issue as well. Maybe they got it together, couldn't get the run wipe, you know, air fuel mixture was off. Possibly. You never know what you're going to run into. We'll take a look at the tank. It's a fuel filter line. A lot of times with those, I don't think I have one in here either. These, we've done one in the past, and they're supposed to be, oh no, I think I did throw it away, but a lot of these, there is, let me see if I can get this line to come off. See, the wrong size line, it could be the wrong filter. We're about to find out here. Let me find some pliers. And of course, I'm finding a snips. Oh, these might work. A little bit overkill for the job, but pluck that line out. Yeah, we'll have to cut it. We'll just cut it and take it out towards that's explain. Yeah, because there's some more whatever that is up top. That line was leaking on. So we'll just take it out through the top and we'll just put a new line on it. There we go. See what they got for a filter. My guess is it has the wrong filter. Well, yeah, there it is. Not necessarily the wrong filter. I mean, this filter would work. But the one that's supposed to be on this, I believe, let's get this off. It'll come off. Yeah, it's coming off. So, all the ones I've seen, you can see how this one, it's, if it'll make it out. It's got barbs on it, and a lot of them, the way it works is that tank, you'll have a plastic ring. I thought I had one set in here because they're all pretty much standards like this one. This is off of it from some random kit I bought online. Same way, it's pretty much the same filter. It's the same way, it's barbed, but well, at least we got a new fuel filter for it. The these go down, the line goes, you know, it's got to go through it, and the line's got to fit tight, and it goes down. They usually have a, once it goes through the tank, a plastic ring that goes up through, or up over the line, sorry, it goes down through the tank, and your line's there, and it's a plastic ring that sits on the hose. You got to put it on your hose first, and you take it up, and you shut, and you got to push on it, and it'll help lock everything tight against the tank to keep it from leaking on you. So it doesn't have it on it, so odds are they lost it or it broke. So I know a lot of these, when they get old like this, they'll just snap when you go to try to change your fuel line, and you end up having to get online and try to track one down. But what I want to do first is see if it even runs. So let me find something to throw a little bit of go-go juice in here. Yeah, it might be in the handle or something, because it's for the throttle. So I can get you in there, you can see where it's not coming back. Zoom in, zoom in. See, if you watch right here, here's where your cable comes through, hooks to the back side of the carburetor to control your throttle. See how it's going in and it's sticking. You push down on the handle and it comes back out. So it's either something in the carb is gummed up, or it could be where your throttle trigger is on your bar. So we find something. I got a little bit of gas. I don't have a lot of 2-cycle yet because the season's just starting. think I got just enough to fire this up. Let me see if I can get something to find my that little syringe, and we'll shoot a little 2-cycle in it and see if it'll fire off. Alright, couldn't find the syringe, but it's got a piece of fuel line and sucked some up in it. So we'll prop this down real quick. And make sure we get it down in the carb. Like so. Give it a little. Hopefully it wasn't too much. Shouldn't have been. Alright, stick it back up here. Let's see, go ahead and put it in the vise, I guess. But these Ryobis, I don't know, man, old as they are, as I find them anyway, I've always had decent luck getting them to run. I think I've only ever had a couple of them that was total junk. Alright, so we'll try choking it. So up is choke. It's on. I guess the on switch could also be bad as well. I mean, you just never know, you know. So give her a little. Something. I guess they didn't put the head on right. The head just came off. And there it runs. Alright, let's see if she'll rev up. Are we open? Yep, we're open. Apparently wasn't enough fuel. Oh, that kind of sucks, man. Well, we know it runs, it's got fire, so since it's got fire, that means it's worth messing with. Now this, maybe this didn't have a, oh no, there it is. You must not have had it tight or something, but yeah, maybe this didn't have it tight, but there's the, say it's a brand new head, it ain't even never been used. It's crazy. That's the bolt that was in it, so they definitely didn't have something done right. So we'll hang on to that for when we get it running. And alright, so we're not off to a good start. I cannot find, well, I didn't think I had one anyway, the plastic ring I was talking about. I was hoping I had one, but I definitely do not. So the only other plan I can come up with is I did find one of the plastic connectors to where you can run, you know, you run like this line, throw a connector on it, you know, run a line down through your tank, hook it to the other end. So that's what we're going to try. So the other problem is the line that I have, it's bigger. I mean, it's pretty good size diameter line. It's pretty thick. But I'm not sure if we can get it to feed up through this hole. I'm going to try. It's not down yet. It's just not going as planned. And the only lubricant I have is I like using 2-cycle to put on here. And I don't have any of that down here. The only thing I do have is gear oil, differential fluid. So we're going to try that. And I don't know if it'll actually contaminate the fuel any. But so here's our hole right there. So what I'm going to do is cut it at an angle. I'm hoping I got enough of an angle. This stuff's pretty thick. So we got it lubed up. Hopefully I got enough going on there. These ones can be a bear to reach sometimes because they're so far on this side and down of the tank that sometimes they can be a challenge to get a hold of. Okay, see if we can see it down in there. Where we at? We are, it's like this one. It is, this one might be tough because it's on all the way in, up in here on the tank. You can't really, just barely make it out. So I have to see if I can even get on it, if I'll be able to get a hold of it without. Worst case scenario is you thin the line down some more just to make it even longer so you can get it up in there to get a hold of it. Just hoping, just want to get it good enough to where we can see if this thing runs. You got to be careful because your two lines are side by side. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely getting a hold of it. Yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do is thin it down even more, make it a little longer so it sticks farther up into the tank. Let's try that. Try to get it started. This stuff is a pretty thick line. But what we're trying to accomplish is, since I don't have that plastic ring to go into the filter, to where we can just pull the filter down into the hole best we can. Enough to keep it from leaking, just enough to see if we can get this thing to run. I really didn't have any luck with the throttle. Once I put it back together, even though I trimmed up that plastic, it still done the same thing. So, not much success there. So we're not starting the season off right. Come on, little fella. Come on. I might have... Yeah, it's not going. It's too... I think it's too square on the end. I think it needs to be more of an angle to help it slide up in there. That might help. Let's take this little piece of that off. Let's try that. Hopefully, just really curious if this thing runs. Try twisting on it and see if we can get it started. Because these tanks really aren't that thick. So I mean, once you get it going, get it to pop through, you are in business. And then it's just being able to see in there. Trust me, I am sure there is a much easier way to be doing this. Than what I'm doing, without a doubt. But at least with me doing it like this, you get to see the real fight of it. Because these things, man, we're gonna give ourselves a little bit more length. I don't remember having this much problems with the. I'd have to go back and watch the video of them other Ryobis that I done. Man, that's some thick line. It's not even wanting to cut. There we go. Give ourselves just a little bit more length. I'm trying not to make the hose so thin that when we pull on it, it snaps off. But it's pretty stout. I'll give it that. There we go. That might be too thin. What we do is get it up and go through, and then just pull it all the way through and cut it flush. Put the filter on and start dragging it back down. Hopefully, that's the plan. It's definitely the plan. We had the other pair of hemostats here. They're heavier, bigger pair that's curved. That'd help a lot as well. There we go. Try to get it a little twist. I think we're getting somewhere now. You can see it poking up the top. So what I'm wanting to do is get this up here and past all my cut marks. Man, that line is in there tight. Okay, so we're up past the cut mark. So the plan now is to get it to where you're going to go back down. We'll cut it off. I ain't going to reuse that old filter. I'm going to go ahead and put this new one on it. Oh, it's usually not this bad. Maybe it's just because it's the beginning of the season. First fight, you know. So we'll get our new one put on. There we go. All the way down. So now the game plan is we're going to draw it down as far as we can get it. Is it going to be in correctly? No, it's not. But are we going to get somewhere to see if this thing runs? Yes, we are. So just pulling the line. Once it gets down there, if you have to do it like it's going to pull too hard, you might pop that filter off. Okay. So now the filter is setting straight up and down in the tank, but we do not have the proper line. So this is where I was saying the correct setup, you would have got a washer down here. Of course I don't. About this. I always use this, just representation. So this would be, we'll say that's your plastic washer. Obviously it's not, but we'll say that's your plastic washer. So you'd have that in there, and the barb of your fuel filter. Here's our old one. Those barbs, if it's picking them up, would be, the line would be on the filter, and you come through. It's a bit of a hassle to do, but it comes through the tank, and then your plastic washer, we'll pretend that's it, would run up the line, and then it stays on the line, slides up over the barbs, and keeps the filter pulled down against the tank, swells the line up around the hole to keep it from leaking. We don't have that option. So what we're doing is, this line's so thick that should not leak. I shouldn't have to worry about that. So we're going to take, I guess first we're going to take this phone call. Alright, can't pass on the boss lady's phone call. So the plan here is, hopefully, I've had lines before, we'll take a quick look, that look good like this, like they've been replaced, all that good hoopla. But if they're cheap, some of them, they'll tend to crack, and I've had that happen before where they look good like this and they actually just put fuel in it and they leak like a sieve. So our game plan is figure out how much line we need, which is probably roughly right there, should work. So God, I hope. So we're going to cut that. Now let's give myself a little extra just in case. We'll cut that. Put our little plastic connector in there. Hopefully it fits good and tight. Yeah. So that one there. And I guess I could have took off a little more than that. I'll take a hair off of this one. Probably pushing my luck. Okay. The plan is to hook these two together. There we go. So like so. So you see there. If I get the camera to work with me. So we just put the new filter in it, pulled it down. That line's like super thick, so this should not leak. And so we put our little filter in there. It's our main fuel line. So we'll see what happens now. So now, all right. So far, so good. We don't appear to have any leaks. I'm surprised. I think I got just enough fuel to go over the filter. This is fuel from last season, so I don't know how well this is going to work out. Got the adjustment tool, Pac-Man tool is what fits this carb. I'm still about certain if this thing's had something done to it as far as carb kit at some point, as far as like fuel lines and plug and carb and all that. But it'd be nice, could have got this cable fixed, but worry about that another time. I'll go out back here, see if I can find one that's parts. It might have that, but let's see. See, she primes up. I'm not sure if we got enough fuel. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, the primer's filling up. We got 3 or 4 shots. Dog trying to get through the gate. All right, that should be the choke. Yep, we're choked off. See if she'll fire up. A little bit of air. A little bit more fuel, maybe. Definitely not happy. There we go. Come on, big Phil.
Right before you did that last pull, I was literally like, come on, God, please help. I swear to God.
It actually runs good, $10.
I swear.
But I think, I'm thinking, you wasn't with us at the thrift store, was you?
No.
So I'm thinking, it's what it looks like to me is someone tried to get it running, and it looks like because it's got so I'm telling you, someone put a carb kit on it.
Didn't know what they was doing?
I don't know, because inside the handle right here, the cable's screwed up, so when you pull the throttle, it hangs open, and when you open the cover up, it's something there's jacked up, and I'm pretty sure I got one out back. I can swap it out, but they put new fuel lines on it, carburetor plug, fuel filter, didn't look that old, but $10, $9.99 thrift store. But they had up here on the fuel line, you got to set these up a certain way. It's like the filter, the line goes on, it goes through, and you got a plastic ring that slides up on it. They didn't have that, and they put this right here. It's adhesive, some kind of glue or something that they put on it to try to keep it from leaking. But the gas ate it, and here we are. Put a fuel line on it, new fuel filter in it, and
Runs like that? Sounds good. Did you get this one from underneath the boat? Or where'd you
this?
get it?
No, I gotta get the ones underneath the boat and look for parts.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what it's at.
Here you go. Winter chicken dinner. $9.99.
That's not bad at all.